History of the Lord Buddha. Our Bodhisattva continued to contemplate his enlightened knowledge until he became enlightened as the Buddha early the following morning. He had finally liberated himself from the sense sphere that imprisoned every living being after countless existences dedicated to discovering the path out of suffering. Immediately after enlightenment, our Lord Buddha felt so blissfully joyous, he continued to meditate and consider the Dhamma. At the end of the 7th week, he emerged from the meditative bliss and went from the Spanish cherry tree to the Barringtonia tree. He was concerned that his enlightened knowledge was so profound that people would have great difficulty in seeing and knowing it. It was so elaborate and profound that only wise sages could penetrate it. But through his boundless compassion, he decided to teach his Dhamma to the people. He employed the Buddha insight to scan human beings and found them to belong to 4 main groups, which could be compared to 4 types of lotuses. Once our Lord Buddha made the decision to teach the Dhamma, he considered the people that would be worthy to hear the first Dhamma lecture. He thought about the yogis Alara and Uttaka, but when he checked, he found out that the yogis had just passed away. He then thought about the 5 ascetics and how they tended to him and decided to give his first Dhamma lecture to them. Early the next morning, our Lord Buddha went to the deer park where the 5 ascetics were living at the time. The first 5 ascetics received the first Dhamma lecture, called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. The occasion coincided with the 15th day of the 8th waxing moon. The sutta deals with the 2 extremes, which one should not practice. Instead, one should practice the middle way, which includes the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path in turn leads to the truth about life, which is called the Four Noble Truths. In his first Dhamma lecture, the ascetic Kondanya was able to attain the path of stream entrance. When the Lord Buddha realized this fact, he ordained Kondanya in a supernormal ordination called Ehi Bhikkhu Pa Sampata, by saying, "Let you become a monk. Practice what I teach you, and practice chastity in order to put an end to suffering." Soon afterward, the rest of the ascetics also attained the path of stream entrance and given the Ehi Bhikkhu ordination by the Lord Buddha. After their ordination, our Lord Buddha gave another Dhamma lecture called Anattalakkana Sutta, which says that the 5 aggregates are impermanent and should not be adhered to. Such understanding can lead to the end of defilements. At the end of this Dhamma lecture, the former 5 ascetics attained arahatship and became the first group of arahats, serving as living witnesses to the Buddha's enlightenment. Around that time, there was a gentleman by the name of Yasa, who was the son of a wealthy man living not too far away from Deer Park. He had grown tired of the householder's life and decided to go into Deer Park. As he did so, he kept muttering, "This place is chaotic. This place is filled with obstacles." As Yasa walked past our Lord Buddha's abode, he heard Yasa's utterance and said, "This place is not chaotic. This place is not filled with obstacles. Come hither, and I will give you a Dhamma lecture." Yasa did so, and our Lord Buddha gave him a Dhamma lecture called Anuppupapikatha, followed by the 4 Noble Truths. At the end of the lecture, Yasa became a stream enterer. The next morning, Yasa's father was out looking for him and heard the same Dhamma lecture from the Lord Buddha. Yasa listened to the Dhamma lecture for the 2nd time and attained arahatship. He was given the Ehi Bhikkhu ordination by the Lord Buddha. Some time later, the monk Yasa's 54 friends heard about his ordination and came to see him. They listened to the same Dhamma lecture from our Lord Buddha and attained arahatship. As a result, there were now 60 arahats altogether. The Buddha then held an assembly of the Sangha, or the order of his perfected disciples, and instructed them on the responsibilities in disseminating Buddhism. After his disciples left, the Buddha headed for Uruvela alone. On his way, he preached to a group of 30 men and helped them attain arahatship. After giving them ordination, he assigned them to propagate his teachings. The Buddha continued on his way to Uruvela to save the 3 ascetic brothers who practiced fire worshipping. The eldest brother, Uruvela Kassapa, had a retinue of 500. The middle brother, Nadi Kassapa, had a retinue of 300. The youngest brother, Gaya Kassapa, had a retinue of 200. The Lord Buddha had to work a total of 16 miracles before the ascetic brothers and their 1,000 attendants could be converted. They asked to be ordained and was given the Ehipiku Upasampada ordination by the Lord Buddha. Afterwards, our Lord Buddha gave them a Dhamma lecture, and by the end of the lecture, the 3 former ascetics and their attendants attained arahatship. Later still, the Buddha traveled to Raja Garha city of Magadha kingdom to give a sermon to King Bimbisara and the citizens. The king and 11,000 attendants attained stream entrance and took the triple gem as their refuge. King Bimbisara and his attendants became lay devotees. They offered food and other alms to the Sangha. Being concerned that the masses should learn Dhamma and wishing to provide the Lord Buddha and the Arahats a place to stay, King Bimbisara had a monastery built within the bamboo grove. This was considered the first Buddhist temple in the world. The propagation of Buddhism by the Lord Buddha and his perfected disciples enabled many people from different places to learn about Buddhism, and many men were ordained as Buddhist monks. It was through the Arahat Asaji that the future chief disciples came to know Buddhism. At the time, the future chief disciples, namely Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggallana, had subscribed to another belief. Their former names were Upatissa and Golita. These 2 men were close friends, and each had a retinue of 250. They lived in the city of Raja Garha and took up the religious life under a creed leader by the name of Sanjaya. They had learned everything from their master and still could not find what they were searching for. Therefore, they promised each other that they would go their separate ways to look for a teacher who could tell them the real truth about life, and whoever found the teacher first would tell the other about it. Finally, Upatissa met the Arahat Asaji one day and was very impressed. Upatissa approached the Arahat Asaji and asked, "Who is your master, and what does he teach?" The Arahat Asaji answered, "Any phenomenon which has a cause. My master teaches about the causes of those phenomena and the end of the phenomena. These are what my master teaches." As a result of the wisdom perfection which Upatissa had accumulated over countless lifetimes, he was able to attain stream entrance just by hearing Arahat Asaji's answer. He hastened to find his friend Golita so that he could share the Dhamma with him. Upon hearing it, Golita too attained stream entrance. The 2 men went to tell their master Sanjaya the news, but Sanjaya was indifferent to it. Therefore, the 2 men, along with their retinue, left and went to see the Lord Buddha. They wished to be ordained, so they were given the Ehipiku Upasampada ordination by the Lord Buddha. Some time later, both monks attained arahatship, and the Lord Buddha gave them new names to honor their respective mothers. Upatissa was given the name Sariputta because his mother's name was Sari. Golita was given the name Moggallana because his mother's name was Moggali. Later still, the Lord Buddha named them his chief disciples. Initially, all of the Lord Buddha's disciples were arahats. As soon as the monks attained arahatship, they went their separate ways in order to propagate Buddhism. They went far and wide. Then, on the 15th day of the 3rd waxing moon, a miraculous event took place, in that all 1,250 perfected disciples came as one to the Verutwana temple without any prior arrangement. This miracle was characterized by the 4 following factors. 1. It was the Uposota day, or a Buddhist holy day, the 15th day of the 3rd waxing moon. 2. The monks came together without prior arrangement. 3. All of the monks were arahats. 4. They were all given the Ehipiku Upasampada ordination by the Lord Buddha. The Lord Buddha then appointed Sariputta and Moggallana as his two main chief disciples. Then on the Ubosotta day, or the Buddha's holy day on the 15th day of the third waxing moon, he gave the Ova-Patimokkha lecture, which contains the heart of Buddhism and the policy by which Buddhism should be propagated. The lecture was given to the 1,250 perfected disciples or arahats, and it provided a guideline to enable the Sangha or Buddhist monks to practice accordingly. It was aimed to train the arahats to be good role models before they are sent to propagate Buddhism and to lead all sentient beings out of the endless cycle of existence. This is considered as one of the most important days in Buddhism, and it is known as Magha Busha Day. The essence of the Ova-Patimokkha lecture can be separated into three main parts, which are the ideal, the principle, and the method. The ideal is the ultimate aim in life and consists of 1. Patience. Be patient of hardships, as it is the means to develop dedication in order to eliminate defilements from one's mind. 2. Nibbana. The Lord Buddha said that Nibbana is supreme. He emphasized perseverance in their meditation practice as a way to extinguish defilements. 3. Do not harm others. The means to achieve the Buddhist ideal is by abstaining from maligning others, from hurting others, physically and mentally. Those who aspire to attain Nibbana must have compassion and kindness. The principle is the way to correctly lead the Buddhist way of life. 1. Abandon all misdeeds regardless of the degree, because we exist under the law of karma. 2. Cultivate all that is wholesome at every opportunity we have. 3. Purify one's mind by meditating consistently every day. The method is the course of cultivating oneself and propagating Buddhism. 1. Abstain from maligning others or any other religion. Use intelligence to educate others on Buddhism. 2. Do not harm or hurt others, and practice restraint without resorting to force. Employ kindness and compassion, and offer intelligent explanation so that they will want to learn more about Buddhism on their own. 3. Adhere to the monastic codes of conduct and demonstrate politeness and good manners. 4. Have a sense of moderation when it comes to food and the 4 basic necessities. 5. Choose to sit and lie down in quiet and appropriate places as a manner to fully practice one's perseverance. 6. Be diligent in one's meditation practice in order to eliminate one's defilements. After preaching the Ova-Patimokkha, the Lord Buddha and his disciple earnestly propagated Buddhism until it became established in the various provinces. Throughout his 45-year ministry, the Lord Buddha performed all the duties of every Buddha before him by teaching the Dhamma, propagating Buddhism, and establishing Buddhism. Wherever he is, he continues to perform the 5 Buddha duties. 1. In the morning, he goes on his alms round. 2. In the evening, he teaches the Dhamma to the people. 3. At night, he teaches the monks. 4. Late at night, he solves the celestial beings' problems. 5. At dawn, he checks all beings to see who may possess the perfections to attain enlightenment and will go save them. The method of propagating Buddhism as outlined by the Lord Buddha resulted in Buddhism becoming firmly established in the world and gaining increasing numbers of followers. Even during his final years, the Lord Buddha continued to be a great teacher who taught sentient beings how to escape from the cycle of suffering. He performed his Buddha duties tirelessly for 45 years and until the final moments of his life. The Lord Buddha's final words to the 4 Buddhist communities were, "Behold, monks, I wish to remind you that all conditional things undergo decay. May all of you make sure that you are not reckless." After his last word was spoken, the Buddha attained complete Nibbana on the full moon day of the 6th lunar month, known as Visakha, at Kusinara city, at the age of 80. Pra Anuruddha, the disciple foremost in Celestial Eye, who was sitting close by, witnessed the Lord Buddha's holy progress in attaining complete Nibbana. The Lord Buddha's immense compassion for all living beings was beyond compare and had never wavered. The Buddha is the ultimate teacher of all beings. Wherever he went, he would teach the truth through every living being there. Since the Lord Buddha was greatly respected by humans and celestial beings, once he attained complete Nibbana, kings from 7 kingdoms sent emissaries to ask for a share of the holy relics. They wanted to house their share of the holy relics in a stupa where people could come pay their homage. Even kings of celestial realms descended to earth to invite the relics to be enshrined in the heavenly Julamani stupa, located in Tawatimsa heaven, so that celestial being too can also offer their homage. After the Lord Buddha attained complete Nibbana, Buddhist monks continued to propagate Buddhism until it became firmly established in many countries, including Thailand. Thai people are grateful that they are born in a country where Buddhism is the primary religion, and for having all aspects of their lives enriched by it. We should therefore practice the teachings of the Lord Buddha in order to lead wholesome and happy lives in the present and for future lifetimes. Moreover, we should put every effort to preserve Buddhism for future generations, the way our ancestors safeguarded Buddhism for us, that it has become a compass for leading virtuous lives.